Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Guys, it's been about 6 days since I've uploaded a video here on my channel, and I'm sorry for that. I actually got really sick, and it was not a fun time, but we are back here on our main expert mode world to tell you all about what we're doing to prepare for the newest update inside of Lego Fortnite Odyssey. We're talking about Odyssey today. Obviously, as you all know, Fortnite Expeditions has come out pretty recently, and in that came a ton of content, as well as 3 hero classes, all of which are going to be coming to our Odyssey worlds very soon. The rumor date on this is the 15th, but who knows, it could get delayed a bit. Either way though, sometime this month, it is safe to assume that we are going to be getting the Hunter, the Shadow Caller, and the Rift Ripper classes inside of Lego Fortnite Odyssey. And that's not it, because along with that, we are also going to have those guys over there activating. And if you don't even know what that is, these guys right here are the Spires, and with these will come extra enemies into our Odyssey worlds as well. So there is so much to be excited about inside of Lego Fortnite Odyssey. And guys, drop a like if you missed me, and also if you didn't miss me, please also drop a like. It just helps out. And bro, this thing is gonna kill me. Either way though, guys, all jokes aside, in today's video, we're going to be taking you through everything I'm going to be doing in preparation for the next major update inside of Lego Fortnite Odyssey. So stay tuned so you don't miss a thing, and subscribe for all things Lego Fortnite. Let's get into it. Now, if it somehow wasn't obvious already, the first thing that we got to talk about are, of course, the plasma pistols. And I don't even want to talk about these too much because my last 2 videos have been just glazing them, I'm going to be honest. They are absolutely incredible, and they are miles ahead of any other weapon in the game. And if you haven't played Lego Fortnite Odyssey since Expeditions has come out, I highly suggest you craft some of these yourselves. Now, personally for me, I already have 3 sets of these, so there's not a lot of preparation I'm really going to need to do other than turning these into legendary. As of right now, the only legendary set I have are the sapphire ones, and these are absolutely incredible, but the more the merrier, I'm going to be honest. And if you don't know how to get these, all you got to do is go ahead and talk to Adventure Jones, who should spawn into your main village. Mine appears to be stuck in the floor, but either way, when you talk to him, he'll give you some quests in the journal, and once you follow those quests, you'll be able to unlock the recipe for these. And once you get that recipe, it's as simple as coming over here to your crafting bench, and you can craft any pair you would like. You literally cannot go wrong. I mean, you could probably make these plasma pistols out of knot root rods, and they would still be overpowered. I swear they just didn't even test these, and they might get nerfed in the future, but for now, they are a blast. And yeah, I would highly suggest those. Anyway, I said I wouldn't talk about these for too long because I'm sure you guys get the point. Make sure you craft yourself a set or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of these, and yeah, you'll be in a good spot when the update comes out and the Spire enemies spawn into our maps. Now, it's safe to assume with this next update that a majority of it is going to be pretty combat focused. So with that being the case, the next thing you should definitely do to prepare is go ahead and make yourself some charms. Now, I know that sounds pretty obvious, but I hardly ever talk about charms in videos, so I felt like I had to today. On the wall here, I have a few different ones that I really enjoy the most, starting with, of course, the Totem of Return. Now, this one only applies if you're in expert mode like I am, but if you're not, obviously, you do not even have to worry about that, which is pretty nice for you guys. So in place of that, I definitely suggest something like a Storm Charm or just an Epic Health Charm. Both of these, as you can see, are going to give you +4 hearts. And while that might not sound like a big deal, these 2 charms are actually the only 2 in the game currently that'll give you a +4 health boost. Storm Charm is, of course, going to be a little bit harder to craft since you are going to need a Shadowhorn fragment, which requires you to defeat the Storm King for. So if you want to craft something that might be a little bit cheaper, this Health Charm is definitely a good call. +4 hearts, +3 shield, and it's not too difficult to craft. Obviously, the only hard part is going to be that brute scale, but I believe in you guys. You guys got it. Other than that, though, another great one is, of course, the Regeneration Charm. That way, when you're taking on the Spire enemies, you won't have to constantly be eating food out of your alternate hand. I have cheese in my alternate hand right now, and you guys know we never eat cheese on this channel, so don't even think about it. But yeah, charms is the next thing on my list. Go ahead and get yourself some resources to craft the best charms you possibly can. Anyway, there is a reason we queued into Expeditions, and obviously this is a Lego Fortnite Odyssey centered video, so I won't be in here for too long, but it would be a complete miss if I didn't mention the hero classes, because that's the big thing coming in the new update. And if you haven't messed around with these classes yet, I would highly suggest you do. That way, when you get into Odyssey, the abilities and superpowers won't be super foreign to you. If you haven't been watching my Expeditions videos, you wouldn't know this, but I've been super locked in on Rift Ripper. So when these classes come to Odyssey, you can bet that I will definitely be using Rift Ripper in Odyssey as well. I think it's a super fun class. And of course, another safe bet is going to be Shadow Caller. This one has been known as the most overpowered class. I personally have not spent enough time with Shadow Caller to go ahead and give you guys a complete guide for it, but I'll probably be using it in the coming weeks here just to get a little bit more dialed in on it. Oh my goodness, wait. It's literally my twin. That is crazy. Yo, hello? Pay attention to me. Pay attention to me. Yo, there he is. There he is. Hang on. Will he dap me up for the video? Come on. Come on, dude. We're literally twins. Yes, sir. Let's go. Guys, drop a like for Axel Luck. Come on. Anyway, sorry for getting distracted. But yeah, I would highly suggest you guys jump into expeditions, even if it's just for a short amount of time to test out some of these classes. Jump into some missions with the different characters. That way, when these things do drop in game, you'll have a pretty good idea of how to use whatever class you want to actually go with. And one more thing, guys, it cannot be overstated how exciting these classes will be when they come into Odyssey. It's literally going to be game changing. I mean, for example, something like the Hunter class literally gives you an infinite grapple for free. So it'll be really cool to see how they integrate stuff like that into Odyssey. On top of that, for me, Ripper will be absolutely game changing because I'll be able to just teleport across the map like this with the sprint dodge. It'll be game changing, and I think it'll make Odyssey a lot more fast-paced and fun is what I actually meant to say. But genuinely, I am so excited for these classes to come out. Between the plasma pistols, the different abilities, something like damage buffs as well. There's just so much to look forward to, and honestly, these should be a big help in fighting Daigo and some of the other Spire enemies. Anyway, staying on expeditions for a little bit more, we have to talk about the different enemy types, because obviously we have these little minions here that are very easy to defeat, especially with something like the plasma pistol. But while we highlight some of the other enemies, I'm also going to highlight the other weapons. It'd be a missed opportunity not to in today's video. So here we have the gem dual daggers. You can make these in Odyssey as well right now and play around with them. But just to show you some of the attacks in action here, we're in an expert mode mission, and hopefully I don't die because I'm actually already really close to dying. But these dual daggers are cool because there's a couple different attacks you can do, like charging up and doing a spin attack. That's going to be this one here. And as you can see, it could definitely put you in some danger. But if you use it in the right situation, you could just deal a ton of damage, especially as you could dismiss with something like Ripper. You also have a lunge that acts something like that. And this one's really good because it just does a ton of damage. The only thing with this one is you definitely need to have stamina. But yeah, once your stamina loads up, you can basically just charge at enemies like this and do tons of damage. And then along with that, you obviously have a primary attack where you can just keep on swinging the dual daggers. Now, before we get to the Warhammer, we're going to talk about our first enemy here, which is Core. And she wields dual daggers. And she does a lot of damage with them. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Anyway, you gotta be careful and make sure you're dodging. Now that this is an expert mode mission and I have no more lives, let me lock in and go ahead and take her down. That way I can hopefully show you guys the best way to fight against her. And as we're getting closer to taking her down, you can see that my main attack move is going to be shooting dual blasters and then swapping back and forth between them. That way there's basically no cooldown at all, and I think it's just super overpowered. So just like that, we took her out, and we'll go ahead and heal. Anyway, guys, the last weapon we're going to talk about today is going to be the Warhammer, and personally, this is probably my least favorite. I would still recommend you try it out to see for yourselves, but for me, I just feel like I take too much damage from these Spire enemies when I'm using it. Either way, though, just like the dual daggers, there's a few attack moves. First, we have the primary attack where you just kind of swing it like that. I obviously have to be careful so I don't die here. But then on top of that, you have this animation where you can kind of turn around and oh my goodness, I'm about to die. Again, using these melees is just not for me because I feel like I take too much damage. But yeah, you have this one where you can go ahead and flip around and do that. And then if you sprint, jump, and swing it, you can also do a jump slam attack just like you can with the pickaxe or the sword. But that's about it from the Warhammer for me. I'm going to go ahead and recycle this one. Now, okay, if there's one enemy to prepare for the most, I would say it's probably going to be the Spires because as you know, we talked about it earlier. These are already in our Odyssey world and they are probably the most crazy enemy we have ever seen in this game. So assuming that they work the same way they do in expeditions, I'm going to take you through how you could defeat them in the easiest way. And the way that these things operate is in phases. Obviously, there's the phase here, which will shoot a laser down at you. So you got to make sure you completely avoid it by either dashing away or hiding behind something. And then between the laser attacks, they're going to go ahead and slam down one of their shards or all of their shards. And when they do that, they're going to be in a vulnerable position for you to just go ahead and take aim at them and do a ton of damage or as much as you possibly possibly can before, again, they're going to go ahead and shoot the laser at you. And I know that might sound complicated, but I'm in this expert mode mission, and I'm going to go ahead and take them out right in front of you guys right now. But yeah, when they shoot the laser at you, you can go ahead and take aim back at their eye. And if you do that, oh my goodness, I almost got beamed. But if you shoot at the eye like you just saw, you'll actually do damage, which is great because then you can do damage while the shards are down and also when the eye is present. I will say that it's definitely a little more dangerous to try to do damage while it's shooting you with the eye laser beam, but you can do it nonetheless. Anyway, let's go ahead and just take advantage of when these things are down and they're golden. So let's go ahead and spray these. And then of course the eye is present, so we can go ahead and shoot at that as well. And there we go. We already have the Spire about halfway down on his health, and we're just going to keep cooking on it. So here we go. Shards are down. We'll go ahead and spray as much as we possibly can. And that's where you're going to do the most damage as well. So if you're using something like the shadow color, that's when you can use your ultimate and just throw down those big orbs that'll do tons of damage. In the case of Rift Ripper, you'll probably just want to use any of your damage abilities or any of your buffs. And there we go. We defeated the Spire. I don't even know how. I didn't even realize we were so close to doing it, but just like that, we did it. But yeah, depending on your class, I would just suggest definitely using your abilities, as the Spire in its current state is very, very powerful, especially in these expert mode missions. Now, one last enemy we have is, of course, the Titan. And this one's not that hard. It kind of reminds me of a Golem. With the Titan, though, it's basically just going to run and charge at you. So make sure you're keeping your distance, and you can shoot it anywhere in its body, or you can use any lunge attack to attack it anywhere in its body as well. The critical point is actually not going to be on the top of its body. It's going to be in the middle of its body. It's kind of interesting in that way, and that's something that I didn't know right when I fought it for the first time. So make sure you're aiming for the middle if you want to hit those crit attacks. Not much to talk about on the Titan, though. It is a pretty straightforward fight, and if you're familiar with the golems, you should be familiar with the way that these things should attack you. Anyway, guys, that's going to about do it from today's video on how I'm preparing for the brand new update. Obviously, with a majority of this update feeling like it's going to be combat based, it is nice that we can load into expeditions and kind of get a feel for what's to come. In terms of Odyssey, though, I would just grind all of those important resources that you might think you need for charms and weapons. That way, when the stuff is added, you can go ahead and craft it immediately, get out there, fight the Spires, fight all the other enemies, and have a fun time with all of the new content that we should be getting here soon. So subscribe to the channel if you're not already for all things Lego Fortnite. You know I got you guys covered. And also comment down below if you guys have any tips that you think I missed. I'd love to hear what you guys are doing to prep for the update as well. But it's been your boy Kaz. Thanks so much for watching all the way through this video, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.